What's up, teachers, students, parents, whoever you are? Thank you so much for checking out this video. I really appreciate it. I am Mr. T from Portable 3, and I am coming to you live from my portable. Actually, right in my portable right now. And I'm really excited to get this video out. This is going to be a complement from episode 002, which I posted about a week ago. And we looked at currencies, which was pulled from the 7th and 8th grade financial literacy curriculum in Ontario. Now, if you are not a 7th or 8th grade teacher, if you don't teach middle school, that's fine. 4th, 5th, and 6th graders can still get the idea of exchange rates because if they travel with their mums and dads, it's important. So, students, I'm going to be talking to you for the next few minutes, and we're going to be talking about exchange rates and what exchange rates are and why they're important, okay? And I've brought some bills that I'm really excited to share with you. But before we get that, if I've earned your like so far, please give me that like. I'd really appreciate it. Today's Starbucks card that I wanted to be sharing with you is a Canadian one, and this was from 2009, believe it or not, 2009, and it came out just before the Vancouver Olympics in 2010. That's an old card, 14 years old. That would be as old as 8th graders, believe it or not. If you've got an early birthday, January, February, or March, that's how old it is. So most of the students watching this from 4th through 8th grade wouldn't have even been born when that Starbucks card came out. But why I chose that particular card was because in 2010, people from all over the world, millions and millions of people, came to Vancouver, British Columbia, which is a province in Canada, and they watched the Olympics. And athletes came from all over the world to compete in those Olympics. And everyone that came brought money with them. And if you came from Mexico, you would have brought a peso. If you came from Japan, you would have brought the yen. If you came from France, you would have brought the euro. And all of those monies, all of those currencies would not have been accepted in a Vancouver grocery store. Or if you wanted to buy a hoodie to get your favorite athlete to sign it, you would need to convert or exchange all of your money into Canadian dollars. And it's that idea of exchanging or trading or swapping money into other currencies is what we're going to talk about. Now, before we go on, I just have an exciting thing that I wanted to share with all of you. If any of you are stock traders or your parents are stock traders, I recently bought a 51% stake in a vampire hunting company. I am the main stakeholder. I'm pretty excited about it. But if the company fails, that investment is going to be a very big mistake. See if you got that one. So let's go on. We're going to be looking at exchange rates and chatting about them. And the big idea for today, students, I'm going to post it right over here. If you want to check that out, and students, you want to write it down. The big idea for today is that I want all of you to know that different amounts of money have different values because of exchange rates. All right? Now, I'm going to show you a few. I've got a 100 peso bill right here, okay? 100 pesos. You could not take this 100 peso into a convenience store in New York City and buy a bag of chips with it. It wouldn't work. You would have to exchange into US dollars, all right? Now let's go bigger. I promised you last time in video 002 that I would show you a bill worth 1,000 units. I promised you. Imagine walking around with a bill that had the numbers 1000 on it. That's pretty sweet. Well, here it is. Believe it or not, you can look in the corner, 1,000 units, believe it or not. This is a yen issued by the government or the Bank of Japan, the government of Japan. This is legal tender, and it is worth 1,000 yen, believe it or not. Now, do you want to see a 5,000 unit bill? 5,000. Can you imagine walking around in Canada with $5,000 bill? Well, they don't actually exist, but I think that's pretty cool. 5,000. Well, check this out. 5,000 Vietnamese dong. 5,000 Vietnamese dong. That is pretty sweet. That is pretty sweet. But the first point that I want to make to you is that there are lots of different bills and with different values around the world. And those bills that I showed you, they are not worth 5,000 Canadian dollars. They are worth a different amount of dollar because the value is different. All right. And what you're going to need to use is an exchange rate calculator. And I want to show you what that looks like right now. Okay. So we're going to switch screens here, and I'm going to pull up a currency converter. And that is what it looks like. You can find this just on Google. It's really easy. So I've got 1 Canadian dollar here, and that is not worth 1 American dollar. It is worth 0.74 cents. Okay? So that means if I round this up to 75 times 2 would be $1.50. So that means 2 would be worth about $1.50, 1 would be worth 74 cents, and 10 would be worth $7.40 or close to it. Okay? And that means that 10 Canadian dollars are not worth 10 American dollars. They are worth $7.38. Now, let's find out how much money that 1,000 yen would be worth. Okay, let's find that out. So let's change the bottom to Canadian dollars. And let's change the top to Japanese yen, which is right here. Okay, and we are going to change this. Oh boy, that's not what I want. I want Canadian dollar. Excuse me. So we're going to change 1,000 Japanese yen. And can you believe it? 1,000, I'll show you that bill again. A 1,000 yen bill is actually worth $10.21. Imagine that. Now, here's what I'm curious. If 1,000 yen are worth $10 Canadian, I'm curious what 5,000 Vietnamese dong would be worth. Let's find out. Let's see if it's worth more money. Is 1,000 yen or 5,000 Vietnamese dong worth more money in Canada? Let's find out. So we're going to click here, and we're going to click 5,000 is it is worth 29 cents Canadian. That's crazy. Oh, isn't that interesting? So you can see, my friends, that 1,000 yen and 5,000 Vietnamese dong, they are worth different amounts of money. And that is bonkers, okay? Because that, if you go and travel to other countries, okay, if you save $100, that doesn't mean you're going to get $100 in another country. You could get a little bit more money, or you could get a little bit less money. And that is the big idea of what I want you to understand today, okay? Is that I will know that different amounts of money have different values because of exchange rates. Now, is an exchange rate fixed? Is it fixed? Does it stay the same forever? Let's find out. This here is called an exchange rate calculator or currency converter, all right? And you can see in the top left corner, this is United States dollar to Canadian dollar, USD to CAD. We'll zoom in a little bit right there. And you can see that this is changing second by second. It is not static. It is not permanent. It does not stay the same for a week. It does not stay the same month by month. It changes second by second. All right. And that is really important to understand. And I'll give you an example. In Russia, when Russia went to war with Ukraine, the Russian ruble, which is the currency in Russia, it actually lost 40% of its value. it declined. It fell. It became less valuable by 40% over the course of 1 month. In February through March of 2022, the Russian ruble fell by a lot of money. And that means that exchange rates are always changing. How much money you get today when you convert money or trade money will be different tomorrow. And I'm going to finish off with this last example, okay? If I use pencils as my money in Canada and in the United States, or let's use a different country, let's say in Brazil, they use apples, okay? Let's pretend that 3 pencils are the same value as 1 apple in Brazil, all right? So if I go to Brazil on a trip, I can't use pencils at the grocery store. I have to exchange them into apples, all right? But today, 3 pencils may be worth 1 apple. But in 3 days from now, maybe 4 pencils will be worth 1 apple. And that's because, as I showed you, exchange rates are always changing. They're always moving, okay? So just a little taste today, a little peek into exchange rates. I really wanted to show you that, you know, it's always changing. There's different values around the world. I wanted to show you one of those really big bills because I think that's pretty cool. And I've got a handout, teachers, down in the description below if you want to grab it for your students. I also have a special private teaching video just for teachers and parents, along with a handout for teachers and parents that goes into more depth into today's lesson. But if you're not interested in either of those, that's fine. I hope this freebie video has been helpful. Students, I really hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've loved seeing different currencies, and I would love for you to go and explore different currencies on your own and different exchange rates. So with all that, if you want to give the video a like, if I've earned it, I'd really appreciate it. Teachers, you can grab the items down in the description below. If you're not subscribed on this journey of financial literacy, please hit the subscribe button. If you've hit the notification bell to be alerted, don't click it again, because then you'll be unalerted and you won't receive the dings when I send out videos. But that's it for today. I hope you have a great day. Until the next video, thank you so much. Teachers, love your students. Students, be respectful to your teachers and your parents. And we'll see you in the next video. Take care, everyone.